Hello, and welcome to Spiritually Speaking with me, Cheryl Lynn. Today, I'm going to teach on a subject for all of you, and it doesn't matter if you've already ascended like me, you're on God's new earth on the 5D, or you're still struggling with the physical world 3D and the horror show that is, and please, I encourage you, get up into the 5D. The 5D is for me. But this subject pertains to you as well, and then those of you on the 4D that are on like in between the worlds. So it goes for everybody. You know, some videos I have are just for the physical 3D world people. Some are for the ones that have ascended. Mostly the ones that have ascended know these things. But the physical 3D world people, I have a ton of the Spiritually Speaking with Cheryl Lynn for those of you that are watching me for the first time. As some of you know, part of my life's purpose is to be a spiritual teacher. And when I learn something, I teach it. And I've learned something very important, a very important subject for everybody. And I want you to listen to me. This is going to save all of you a lot of less extra stress in your life. It did me. The subject I'm going to teach on today is drop the knife. Drop the knife. Cut the energy. Drop the knife. And what do I mean by drop the knife? If you are thinking about somebody, concerned about somebody, oh, my daughter needs to do this. She needs to go to college to do this. What is my daughter doing? Who's my daughter dating? You know, no, I don't want my daughter to be a fashion designer. I want my daughter to work in computers because there's more money in computers. She might not be a fashion designer. What is she doing? Where is she at? Where is she going? Cut the knife. Cut the energy. Because your daughter is on her own road. You yourself, you're on your own path. It doesn't matter if you're married to somebody, partnered up with somebody, doesn't matter if you're in a family, you yourself are walking your path yourself. You've got your personal free will, and the only people or person you can change is you. Nobody else. Not your children, not your husband, not your partners, not your wife, not your grandchildren, people you work with, things you see on the news. And I'll be giving you examples about drop the knife and how to use that energy now to cut this distracting energy that the negative side is trying to distract you with. So you don't work on your personal journey, because you know, when you walk down that path, you're walking down that path yourself. You're walking down, even when you get to the light, you're walking that tunnel yourself. Nobody is with you. Nobody is meeting you. What was your journey here on this earth? Did you stay in the physical horror show 3D world, you know, with the ego and the horror, and you have all this stuff that you got to get off of you before you get into the light? Or are you up into the 5D where you've ascended and you've worked on that stuff before, you know, you cross, you know, into the light? I'm not talking today about crossing into the light. I'm talking today about your journey here on earth, whether you're in the physical 3D world, the 4D, or you're up into the 5D, God's new earth, the ascension. It doesn't matter, because drop the knife works in the 5D as well. I have, of course, my own personal experiences, which I will, explain to you. Because some of you are going to be like, well, I was meaning well. Well, no, you're not. You're not meaning well when you're interfering with somebody else's energy, even a spouse. Because they've got their personal journey. Their own personal journey with God, their own personal free will, and you cannot change them. Yes, you are partnered up for those of you that are married, or those of you that have stood before God and said, we love each other, we're partnered up. You don't have to, go through the physical 3D world ritual You know, you can stand before God and say we partner up, we love each other. People do that as well. Or you're just together. That there is a tube that forms between you. So you feel that person's energy and that person feels your energy because you are partnered up with somebody. And most people want to be partnered up. They don't want to do, this journey themselves, walking this path themselves on Earth, especially in the physical 3D world. What a horror show that is. But anyway, you're hooked into somebody, yes. And you are walking the path with them, yes. Day-to-day things, decisions and judgments that have to be made, about the household, where you're going to go on vacation, partnering up with somebody. But that does not mean that you dictate to them how they're supposed to change or what they're supposed to do, or I can shape him and I can mold him and I can make him exactly how I want him to be. Drop the knife. Change the energy. You can't do it. Drop the knife. Cut that energy. Drop it. Drop the knife. And it's that adamant. Drop the knife. I think I can change him. I think I can make him, okay, he's angry now, but I think if I work with him, drop the knife. He's angry. Do you want to be partnered up with an angry person? Because what's happening is his energy is distracting you from your path. Because you're putting all your fear-based energy into this person that you want to change. I don't care if you're married to them. I don't care how long you've been with them. You drop the knife. Yes, you walk. Kindness is the energy, people. Kindness is the energy. If you're partnered up with somebody, it's kindness. Anything less than kindness, drop the knife. Work on yourself. Work on your own personal path with God. Work on ascending up if you haven't done so already. Even if you're up into the ascension, continue your path with God, your journey with God. And do not be distracted by the issues of the physical 3D world, the people in the physical 3D world and their issues. You got to drop the knife on people. People you love, people you live with. I'm going to give you an example about what I mean. But again, I'm just saying, if you're married with somebody, kindness, or you're partnered up with somebody, kindness is the energy. If that's not the energy, you drop the knife and you start reevaluating yourself. Is this the life I want to be with? Do I want to partner up with this person? You can't change them. You cannot change them. If they're an alcoholic, they're a drug addict, cut the knife. You can't change them. They are going down a really horrible path. A horrible path, because now they're all hooked into with the negative energies, and the negative energies are feeding off of you. And you're totally distracted now. Cut the knife. Drop the knife. Cut the energy. I'll say cut the knife too. But I mean drop the knife. Cut the energy. But you can say cut the knife too. I do that too. I say cut the knife. Cut the energy. Drop the knife. I'm going to give you an example about, my own personal journey with this drop the knife. And this has helped me immensely because this was an issue that I had. Unless you're a client of mine, or a client of mine that I do a personal reading, a phone reading with, a personal reading with somebody, I need to drop the knife on everybody else. This includes members of my family. This includes the world in general. I have to drop the knife. This was hard for me to do because I always had that energy of, and even it was like helpfulness. Why is this person living with this person? She's so much better than that. Why is she wasting her time with him? If she would only go to college and leave him, and then she'd have a better life for her and her son. And Cheryl, drop the knife. Drop the knife. She's going to leave you, send love and light to her, and you cut that energy because that's a distracting energy. And she will live her own personal life. If she comes to me and says, hey, Cheryl, what's your advice? I'll give her my advice. I'll say, what's your, why don't you go to college, or what's going on here? Even as a casual friend, if someone comes to me and asks me something, I'll say something and then I drop the knife. I drop it. I cut that person's energy. I have to. Because 9 times out of 10, they just don't follow the advice. They just live their life. They'll continue on walking down the path with that person, whether they're living in fear and worry, still in the ego. But that's their personal path with God. Drop the knife. And this was something that, I'm telling all of you, I really struggled with, because I, had my mind filled with, why does this person still have to be married to that person? Why can't they divorce that person? Because I know there's another person better for them, and I care about them, and I don't want them to go. Drop the knife. They're living their life the way they're living their life. And some people, have said to me when I had this energy about, oh, why don't they do this, or why don't they drop the knife? They have said to me, oh, I'm happy. I'm happy, going through my own personal journey. I'm happy being alone and, finding my peace of mind. So God's got a plan for everybody, but I'm talking about our own personal journeys with people. We are to concentrate on ourself, our path, our walk with God, our life's purpose, to ascend if we haven't ascended. And yes, we are here to help others, even those of you out there that work with clients, those of you out there that, let's say you're a doctor, let's say you're a psychiatrist, you're a doctor, okay? You cut the knife after the session. You cut the knife. You're a healer, right? A Reiki worker, a healer. In the spiritual world, yes, you have your clients, but then you cut the knife, drop the knife. I'll say cut the knife, drop the knife. It's basically the same thing. Cut the energy, drop the knife. Even after a client, and I will give 100% when I have my clients on the phone. I'll give them God's messages for them. And we'll go through a session. But after the session, after the reading, I close out that reading and I say, drop the knife. Because if I don't, then I'm concentrating in my head. Well, if this person does this, if this person... And it is not my energy at that point. It's that person's. I've given all I can. And like I said, my heart was always into, and I know a lot of you out there, your hearts are into, I want to help this person. I can change this person. I care about this person. Drop the knife. Because what's happening is you're being distracted from your path. You've got to walk your personal path with God. Go through your healings. Go through your trials and tribulations, whatever you need to do. If those of you that are listening to me are at the physical 3D world, it is your job right now to get out of it. Okay? Get out of it. So I found this very interesting because this helped me, because this was something that, again, I was just, well, if this person does this, yes, I can see, I'm psychic, and I can see ahead what's going to happen if they continue on down the path with the alcoholic. I can see what's going to happen to them. But I got to drop the knife, even cut that energy, because they're walking their path, and when they get, when they do cross to the other side, when they do walk into the light, then they'll shed all that stuff, and then, oh, I should have done this and I should have done that. I should have concentrated on myself. Now, this is going to sound weird to a lot of people, but this is absolutely true. I'm going to have to use my personal example. First of all, let me say this. Negativity gets in. Let's say you're a spiritual person. Let's say, okay, I'm dropping the knife. I'm walking my path with God. I'm raising up my vibrations. I'm getting into the 5D. I'm on God's new earth. I've gone through my trials and tribulations. I'm full of light. Okay, as you're going on your journey. The people you're associated with are on a different path. You cannot change them. Drop the knife. You can't change them. You can inspire them for who you are. But now, evil can't get to you. You're shielded by God. You're shielded by angels. You're shielded by archangels. You're shielded. The shields are up. The big ball light is around you as you're into the 5D. They can't get to you. They don't want to be in the 5D. They're not allowed in the 5D. Okay? So how do they want to lower your energies? How does the evil want to lower your energies? They do it through the people closest to you. They hook in to the ones that are not ascended. So, the people that are closest to you, if they're smoking cigarettes, they're hooked in. They're vaping, they're hooked in. They're drinking, and I mean one drink, they're hooked in. They're eating, horrible foods, self-loathing, self-hate. They don't have the high-quality foods. They've hooked into them. If they're taking any kind of medication, opioids, drugs, marijuana, they're hooked into you. They're getting in through the other person. Because the other person, they're walking their path, but they're refusing to go past the physical 3D world, whether they're fearful of it or this is all they know. Okay? But I'm talking about like the other people that are close people that are associated with you. They have this evil that's hooked in, and they speak through these people to get you off your path, to get you diverted, to be angry with you, to start fights, to distract you from your path and what you need to do in your own, whether you're a spiritual worker like me or you're just walking your path with God on the 5D and realizing the serenity, peace, love, and joy. Because the evil wants you looking down now, people. They want you looking down in fear, worry. Let's look down. Let's try to lower their energies. We can't get to them, but we can try to lower their energies through other people. Drop the knife. Drop the knife. And do banishments. When you see people vaping, smoking, people that you care about, and they start acting up, vaping, smoking, taking drugs, a drink of alcohol, banish it. Banish that energy through Jesus Christ, the blood of the Lamb, the Holy Spirit. You're banished through Jesus Christ, the blood of the Lamb, the Holy Spirit. Get off of him. Get off of her. You're banished. Get out of here through God. Okay? Through Jesus Christ, the blood of the Lamb, the Holy Spirit, and you give it to God. But you got to do these banishments all the time. And then you'll see them go back to their normal self until they do something else to give them a hole to come into. They take another drink, bam. Because the only person you can protect is yourself. You can only protect and shield yourself. You can't protect and shield other people. Yes, you can send love and light. Yes, you can send healing energy to people. But especially people in the physical 3D world, wow. They're still, it's just at this point, and the things that are going to be coming up, why? Why? Love yourself enough to pull yourself up. Give it to God. So anyway, this is like a very serious subject for me because, again, I was somebody that even, I just couldn't shut off other people. And if they do that, if they, I know what's going to be happening there, and if they do this, and what is she still doing with him? And he did this to her, he did that, drop the knife. Okay? Now, this also has to do with those of you, let's say you have a drug addict child. Let's say you have, I'm just going to give examples. This is not my personal example, but let's say you have a drug addict son. A drug addict son. He takes drugs, he drinks. He's chosen to do that, whether he hates himself or he succumbed to the evil. But he takes drugs, he drinks, he hates himself. He's whatever this is, the anger or whatever this is that's going on within him. And you, let's say you're the mother or the father, and you've tried to get that child into rehab. Let's say you've tried. Okay, let's get the child into therapy. Let's get the child into rehab. Let's give the child as much help as we can. Okay? And let's say you do that. And the child keeps going back. Well, I'm going to tell you something. The demons are strong. You want strong demons? Drinking and alcohol. Drinking alcohol and drugs. Man, oh man, they are hooked into your child. And they are sucking the life out of him. And at this point, the soul could even be kicked out and the demon's talking to you. How about that? and trying to get you off your path. Because you'll be distracted because you love your son, but maybe it's not even your son talking to you. I know that's kind of radical, but you know, they are on drugs long enough. It's a hard path, people. It's a hard path. So those of you that have been thinking about that, don't even think about it. Get up into God's 5D. But getting back to the drug addicted son. So let's say the drug, you know, he takes drugs and you've done all you can. You've gotten him to rehab. You've gotten him, you know, taken him out of drug houses. Gotten him into programs. You yourself have gotten into programs. You've gotten him into therapy. You've done everything that you can, and maybe for a little while he was off of drugs, and you had your son back. But believe me, in the back of his head, he's still thinking about drugs. That's it. That's how powerful drugs are. Unless he's up into God's 5D and he's actually working with God. But if you're in the physical 3D world, drug addicted, yikes, yikes. But anyway, getting back to my story here. Okay, so you've done everything you can for the drug addicted son. Everything. And then he goes back on the street again. Smoking crack, whatever he's doing. He goes back on the street again. Drop the knife. Cut the energy. Give him to God. It's done. That's it. You focus on your path. Send love and light to him, but do not be distracted. Lock the door. Lock it. Do not be an enabler. Give him to God. And if he, you know, you've done what you can, but you have your own personal journey to go on. Drop the knife. So I'm saying get some people help that need help, but if it just keeps going back, because I know people, you know, mothers are destroyed, you know, fathers and families are destroyed by these people in the street. You know, and yes, your heart goes out to them. Yes, your heart goes out to them. But a lot of the times, demons are already there. The soul's pushed out. The demons are talking to you. Those of you that are those of us that are up in the 5D, you can kind of see that energy. You can kind of see it with them. The eyes are gone. They're gone. You know, and at this point, they're just playing with you. At this point, drop the knife. Cut the energy. God, you've got it. I love me, I care about me, I love myself emotionally, physically, and spiritually, God, as you do, God, and I am walking my path. I love him, I'll see him on the other side. And that's basically what you need to do. Now, with your children, children that, yes, you are here to guide and teach your children, to protect your children, and to provide for your children. Absolutely. But they are their own person. On their own journey. And really listen to your children about what they want to do with their life and encourage that. You know, for example, you know, if the daughter says, you know, I want to be a fashion designer. You know, let's say she's a child. I want to be a fashion designer. I'm interested in that. Get her sewing lessons. Encourage it. If she changes her mind, encourage it. You may ask her, well, what is it like you would truly love to do? Well, I would truly love to, and do not suggest, oh, BA this or BA that because you're going to make a lot of money. You know what? You get a lot of unhappy people. Drop the knife on what you think that child should be or do. That child will tell you what they want to be and encourage it. And if they flip-flop around, that's just part of being a child. But you're there to provide safety for them and guidance, but you are not there to drag them by the nose, you know, like I'm getting the vision of, you know, like the bull with the ring, dragging them down the path they don't want to go down. But they're looking for you for guidance. And these are whether you're natural children, stepchildren, adopted children, grandchildren, the younger generation. Really listen to them. Drop the knife on what you think they should be. Cut that energy. Okay? And this has to do with everything. Anything that you see in the news. I don't know why people are still watching the news. The physical 3D world. Look at the movies. Look at them. You know, when you get up into the 5D, you can't even watch this stuff. You cannot even tolerate it. You can't even stomach it when you get up into the 5D. But the physical 3D world, I guess that's thrilling. These horror stuff that, if you can only see what my eyes see, Sometimes I don't want to see some of this stuff. The physical 3D world. That's why I'm so adamant about pulling everybody up. Get out of it. Open your eyes so you can see. But anyway, whatever you're seeing on the news, whatever you're seeing on movies, drop the knife. I dropped that energy. Drop the knife. Oh yeah, I saw The Exorcist. Drop the knife. Why would you want to hook into that kind of energy? Because they'll hook into you. If you watch those kind of movies, they'll hook into you. You know, they're adamant. So you're safe with God up in the 5D. But you got your personal free will. You know, all of you that are listening to me now, you can start smoking now. You can start taking drugs now. You can start vaping now. You can start eating really bad now. Okay? I hate myself so much. That's what the physical world loves that. Oh, I hate myself so much. I'm going to do this. And then you will destroy yourself. And then when you walk your path to the light, oh, I could have done that and I could have done this. I want all of you out there to live your full life with God. To get into the 5D, the new earth, it is here. There are many of us that are on it. And to drop the knife on everything else in your life and concentrate on you and your journey. So, all of you out there that are listening to me, drop the knife and cut the energy. Really look at your truth, look at yourself, look at your situation in life. And those of you out there that have just given and given and given and given, I'm putting myself in the back burner, given and give, drop the knife on that too. I love me, I care about me, I love myself emotionally, physically, and spiritually, and I am walking my path with God. Because that's avoidance too, people. That's avoidance. When you just do the self, I don't know, I get some people like that until they actually, you know, when some of my clients, you know, they're the good hearts, the pure hearts, they're trying to change this person, they're trying to change that person, they're the good soul. And in the meantime, they're suffering. They're suffering. And they find out that nobody's ever changed. And the only thing they did was get themselves depressed. Because they're not on the path they're supposed to be on. Drop the knife on that stuff. Change the energy. Cut the energy. So now I'm doing it now. And it is helping me. When I start thinking about maybe somebody in my family, I go, cut the knife, God. Cut it. Cut the knife, drop the energy, cut the knife, drop the knife. I do that. I do drop the knife, cut the knife. God knows what I'm talking about. And it stops. And I continue on down my path. So I want all of you out there now to drop the knife on anything that is not of you. Again, those of you that work with people all day, you know, even those of you that work with, let's say you work with senior citizens all day, you do your job, at the end of the day, you drop the knife. I'm cutting all these energies, God. I'm cutting all these energies from these people. I'm an intensive care nurse, God. You go in every day, you do your job, and then at the end of the day, intensive care nurse, drop the knife. I cut all these energies. I'm not taking these energies home. Those of you that are, veterinarians, you have sick dogs that you have to put down at the end of the day, or vet techs, drop the knife. My day is over, God. I dropped the knife. Those of you, again, healers out there, spiritual healers, Reiki, spiritual healers, people that are doing healing, at the end of the day, drop the knife, cut those energies. Because those energies will keep coming back and keep coming back. So it's time to drop the knife. All of you out there, drop the knife. Learn to love yourself as God loves you. And start doing this now. Really start doing this now. If you start thinking about drop the knife. I think my daughter should drop the knife. I think the world should be drop the knife. I think my husband should act like drop the knife. Is my husband cheating on me? Drop the knife. If you suspect that, you're with the wrong person, because kindness is the energy for partnerships. You cannot save anybody else. You can't change anybody else. Drop the knife. The physical world's going to say, oh, you should feel guilty about that. The shallow physical world. Oh, drop the knife. shallow physical 3D world. I'm with God. And that's your energy now. Your walk with God. You drop the knife on everything else. Everything. And really start, and it, with me, when my journey started with drop the knife, cut the energy, because I was like, even like my psychic work, things like that, it would be like, yes, God would end the session, but then it would be like, at night I would think about this one or that one. I was like, oh, now I gotta like cut this energy. Now I just say drop the knife, and it stops. And but this is something that I had an issue with, and I had a good heart. I do have a good heart, but I can't solve other people's problems. I can see what's going to happen. I can see what's going to happen, but I got to drop the knife because that's my journey. I don't want to be distracted by this person. God brings people to me, whether through clients or sometimes people, people on the street or people I know or even family members. But then I got to drop the knife. I don't want to carry that energy. I have my own personal journey with God, and I am thrilled to be on the 5D. I'll tell you that. Thrilled. Thrilled. So all of you out there, drop the knife, cut the energy, focus on yourself and yourself only. You're the only person you can change. You've got respect everybody's free will. Whatever road they go down, they go down. That's not your concern. Yes, if they come in, they want some advice or whatever, you give them advice, but then you cut the knife. Okay. God love you. And don't really put your energy or focus on them. Okay? And it'll make your ascension better if you're not up here already in the 5D. Again, I cannot stress enough, please get out of the physical 3D world. Please. But again, even those of us in the 5D, this comes around. This energy comes around too, because evil is hooking into the people closest to us. They don't want us up in the 5D. They don't want us doing our light workers' work. Whatever your path is, they don't want you up in the 5D helping God and helping the world in a positive, loving way. Are you kidding me? Forget it. They don't like this ascension. They want everybody in that soup. That horrible, evil soup that's a physical 3D world. Everybody fear, worry, and shallowness and everything else is down there. Evil beyond comprehension for all of us. Leave it. Leave it. Get up here into the 5D. Walk your path. Drop the knife. Cut the energy on everything else and everyone else. Okay? And if you see somebody close to you, they take a drink, they do whatever, and they start acting weird, and they're not kind to you, I drop the knife. I'm not going to be distracted. I'm not going to try to change you. I'm dropping the knife. And if they're too bad, then you got to leave them. That's it. I love myself too much to be distracted by this. I drop the knife. I give them to God. I give them love and light, and I give them to God, but I love me and I care about me. For other people, like I said, some of the children, I dropped the knife. I've done all I can for him. I took him to rehab. I did this, I did that, and now he's choosing. Okay, drop the knife. Don't be distracted anymore. Give your heartache to God. Give your fear, worry, everything to God. And God will help you. Because this is your personal path. Okay? Alright. So, do what I did. Again, I went through this personal journey too. It was difficult for me. Because I had, concerns about this one, concerns about that one, and I didn't realize what I was doing. So I just dropped the knife, and now I'm in peace. I'm in true peace with God. And I'll tell you something, it's so much better, it's so much lighter. You can see your path, your miracles, your manifestations. They come in now because you're not distracted. Because, what you think and what you speak is what you're going to manifest. So, of course, negativity wants you to manifest evil or be distracted by this or distracted by that. No more. Drop the knife, cut the energy, get up into the 5D, the new world, God's new earth. God, pull me up into the 5D, and don't look back down again. Well, there you go. There's what I wanted to talk to all of you about drop the knife, cut the energy, and start working on that today. I love all of you very much. God loves all of you very much. And I'll be talking to all of you next time. God bless you. God bless all of you. Get up into the 5D. Drop the knife.